despite knowing you, I was blessed. Yes, I was truly blessed. So why, tell me why the good die young, my old friend? I pray that heaven waits for everyone in the end. And love is how we cross that bridge to the light. A star, that is what you are in my darkest night. Be always by my side. Heaven, heaven, ooh, waiting there for me. Heaven, heaven, ooh, always let it be.
Said I was in my early 40s with a lot of life before me, when a moment came that stopped me on a dime. I spent most of the next days looking at the x-rays, talking about the options and talking about sweet time. I asked him when it sank in that this might really be the real end. How's it hit you when you get that kind of news? Man, what'd you do? And he said, I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Blue Manchu. And I loved deeper, and I spoke sweeter, and I gave forgiveness I've been denying. And he said, someday I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying. He said I was finally the husband that most of the time I wasn't, and I became a friend would like to have. And all of a sudden going fishing wasn't such an imposition, and I went 3 times that year. I lost my dad. Well, I finally read the good book, and I took a good long hard look at what I'd do if I could do it all again. And then I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu. And I looked deeper, and I spoke sweeter, and I gave forgiveness I've been denying. And he said, someday I hope you get the chance to live like you would die. Like tomorrow was a gift, and you got eternity to think about what you do with it. What did you do with it? What did I do with it? What would I do with it? Skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing, I went 2.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu. And I looked deeper, and I spoke sweeter, and I watched an eagle as it was flying. And he said, someday trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They learn much more than I never knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah.
Acho que não vou deixar você sair da minha vida. Sei que você vai gostar de estar no meio dessa briga. O que passou foi bom demais pra nós dois. Nosso destino é decifrar uma saída. Só você pode evitar o meu tormento. Já não consigo tirar você do meu pensamento. Se você passa eu me desmancho em dor. Se você fica, eu quero dar o meu amor. Dentro de toda história, assim, começo, meio e fim. Outra vez, talvez uma chance, um não, um sim. Fazer você voltar pra mim, voltar pra mim, voltar pra mim. Eu vou lutar por você a vida inteira, mesmo que venha fazer muita bobeira. Se você passa, eu me desmancho em dor. Se você fica, eu quero dar o meu amor.
There we go. Hello again. Hello, Mr. Burris.
Okay. Still living anymore.
Let me back out just a little. Well, there we go. There we go. Excellent.
How are you doing? Okay. back home and stretch out like I did.
Yeah.
I got
Good to see you.
You're fine.
You're playing Santa Claus?
Linda?
No, you didn't bring your
I didn't bring my purse, honey. Is that Larry Harvey over there? I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yes, Joe Ross.
He's in the blue.
His wife likes it. He's
Talk about us working and you know, and like I said, it's actually more fun than work. But there's one person who has gone way beyond anything that the rest of us have done. And so I'm gonna read this. I don't know who wrote it, but it's better than I can do, so I'll read it. Shirley, we want you to have these flowers as a small token of our deep appreciation for all you do for the MH class of '69. You work tirelessly to keep us connected and aware of each other's celebrations, crises, and times of grief. There's more. We love you and appreciate you more than you possibly know. Love your fellow classmates of the great Malvern High School class in 1969. Shirley, come here. This lady, I don't know how many of y'all know what she's done, but she's the computer, you know, like me and Bobby, we don't know anything about computers. Some of the rest of us didn't know. Or phones. She's actually helped us with our phones at the meetings. But she has pretty much single-handedly kept us in touch with emails, Facebook, which I don't do either, by the way. I'm not. Some of these people are not the only ones. I don't do it either. But she's kept in touch with Facebook. She's kept addresses. She's emailed. And she's been doing this for the last solid year, just about to get ready for this reunion. So let's give her another hand of applause.
one more thing that we want to do before we draw signed up on each one. I read the names. You want to come up and take a rose out of the big vase and put it in one of the smaller ones in their memory. Mary Ann Alton Collins. Melba Beard. Charles Butner. Alfrena Butler. Okay. Horace Clayton. Delilah White. And Terry Fiden, who, if I think about it, I can hear his voice and hear him talking. So, I remember Terry. Jerry Fuller.
Okay, thank you.
And his brother, Mike Fuller. Two more North Malvern boys. G.W. Dixon. Helen Gothard Gray. Father Guest Watford. Ronnie Kelly. Jessica Hawkins. Sarah Hicks Helms. Charles Horn. Ricky Hudson. Clara May Hunter Smith. Terry Chester. Fanny Jones. Franklin E. Jones. Linda Lee Miller. Sharon Smith Morris. Nona Allison Cooper. Pat O'Neill. Fannie Mae Patillo. And Chipper Phillips. Danny Powell. Louis Prince. Jim Richardson. Glenn Robinson. Roscoe Robertson. Roger Ross. Marie Simmons Walton. Gail Stinson. Gary Don Thomas. Mike Watts. Faye Launder Hill. Bernard Wilson. Shirley Wilson House. And William McBride. Bless them each and every one. Thank you. And if you need to be reminded why it's important to come, I think that's it.
I'm going to reflect a little bit on the athletics that went on your senior year. I just found out today, Ann came back and told me that Coach Lindsey Henry had passed away. We're sitting around in the summer, it's in July, and we find out that the federal courts in Dallas have sent out word that we're going to have to integrate the schools. And all of that came about in the summer, and y'all had to, you people had to come over, and Coach Henry was on our coaching staff. And he had a whole lot to do with the transition that took place. I mean, we're sitting around and you people were seniors in your high school. You gave up your whole senior year of football seasons as a football team, as cheerleaders and everything, and came over and had to fit in with us. And Coach Henry had a whole lot to do with that. He loved his football team. He loved his players. He loved Peak High. He loved, not Peak High, Wilson. Peak's in Arkadelphia. That was a rival. I spent some time in Arkadelphia too, so I got bit, but I knew it was Wilson, and he loved that school. He loved that football team. He had to bring over those people and fit in, and he had a lot to do with that. And we had a good football team. Well, in fact, we had a great football team, and it came together. We played. Well, I think we opened with Hot Springs and got beat. That was one of the games we lost. And we lost to Catholic High. I won't say too much about that. But
Not that, John.
We had a bad snap, I think, right at the end of the game, and went back to the 2-yard line. And we turned around, tried to kick it, and they got it on and took it in and scored. And we made a guy named Doolittle, I think, real famous that night, I think, he was quarterback. But anyway, we lost that game, and then we didn't lose again until the last game. Am I right, Jim? And in between that, the Fairview Cardinals were, I remember this like it was yesterday, they were the biggest rival, and we spent the night in the gym. If y'all remember, we got cots from the Army, from the National Guard, and brought them in the gym, and slept in the gym, and spent the night there, and so forth. And we get on the bus and go to Fairview. We're receiving the kickoff. Well, the band is unloading and coming into the stadium, and this is on film. And you can see it, a kickoff, and Connell caught the ball on about the 2-yard line. And he took 2 steps and he stopped and turned around and looks at the referee. Well, the referee is going like this, winding the clock. But a whistle had blown, and it was the band coming in, and he stopped and turned around and looked, and then he went 98 yards for a touchdown and returned a touchdown, over the kickoff for a touchdown. You remember that, I'm sure. And you know, the key word back then was bifocal. Malvern was unique in the fact that we were an unusual offensive football team and a good football team, and everybody right now they're talking about the zone play and the zone read and all this, and you offensive linemen that are sitting in here know that you had a blocking zone from this shoulder to the inside shoulder of the guy next to you, and you block anybody that got in that lane. Well, we were zone blocking back in 1969 before anybody ever knew what it was. And this was the bifocal offense. And we went on and went undefeated the rest of the games and played. I think it was a Thanksgiving day. It was about 20 degrees, and it rained, and it was frozen. And the ground started thawing when we were playing. I think we played in the morning, wasn't it about 10:30 or 11 o'clock when we kicked it off? And it thawed. The field thawed, and Mac and the backs couldn't keep their feet. But Magnolia did, evidently. Their field might not have been frozen, but we had a great football team, and I just wanted everybody to understand that Coach Lindsey Henry had a whole lot to do with the transition and with the success of our football team. And these seniors had a team and had a season that they all remember. And in the fact that we lost 3 ball games, I think we ended up playing 12 that year, 12 or 13, but we lost those 3 games, Hot Springs, Catholic High, and the last game on Thanksgiving Day to Magnolia. But this senior class, all of these guys, most of them played and started. I'm going to tell a story now. I remember this. We were either going to scrimmage, or it was the first game, and players all got out early to eat, and they were over at someone's house eating, and Coach Denton was driving to the field house for the game, and he stopped and saw a bunch of them, and he stopped, hollered at them, and they ran over there, and John Dow leaned in the window and said, "Hey, Coach, how you doing?" And he had a package of Winston right there. So Coach Denton comes back and he tells me, and I don't think we told Coach Alfie until after the game, but y'all had to do a lot of running after that though, and I remember you forgot to take them out of your pocket. But anyway, I know.
I'll tell you something I want to say about that.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you defending yourself?
We did have to run a lot. We had to run a lot. The football season was over every afternoon, and they timed some of those quarters. Basketball season came, and we said, and Coach Denton said, "We got done with the first basketball practice, and now you got to run your laps." Track season came. One afternoon, it was dark, there were no lights, it was cold, it was raining, it was in November, and we're out there running, and there was one coach. I don't remember if it was Coach Rogers or Coach Denton, sitting out there watching us run those ladders. And it crossed my mind that he could be home with his family. And he's out here because of me. He's out here seeing that we get character in our lives. And I got a whole different appreciation of those coaches that day that I realized that he wasn't doing it he was punishing us for what I did, but he was there doing it, showing some principle and showing some character, and I learned a lot.
But that's, I understand. And I went on and left, and I married Ann, and we left, and I've coached in college. I've coached 20 years in high school and 20 years in college, and after 40 years I retired. I was fortunate enough to coach 20 years in college, 11 at University of Central Arkansas, and 9 in Henderson. But John is one of the reasons, the statement that he made that Coach Henry and myself and Coach Alfie and Coach Denton coached, is that it kept us young. We enjoyed being around the players. We loved them. We liked to see them work hard and like to see them accomplish things. And this class accomplished a whole lot by being ordered by the court to integrate the schools. And I think the success of our football teams and our basketball teams and our track and sports teams had a lot to do with the transition. I can remember very little, and it may be because I'm old, but trouble that we had athletically on the athletic teams in any form or fashion, and very little that happened in the high school. I'm sure there were some incidents that I knew nothing about, and that some people knew nothing about, but we didn't have any outgoing shows of dislike or anything the year that I spent in Malvern, and of course it was a big year for me because I married the love of my life, and probably the person that's kept me in the condition that I'm in and has helped me through my career. I couldn't ask for a better coach's wife. We have one child. I'll tell you all this story. And I came home one day. I was coaching at the University of Central Arkansas. And Ann and I were talking. I said, "We're going to have any more children?" She says, "No, I'm not going to raise one by myself and anymore." And so I found out what she meant. And my daughter was in the 3rd or 4th grade, and I came home. She said, "Dad," she said, "you know, I don't see you anymore." She said, "You've gone to work when I get up in the morning, and you don't come home till after I go to bed at night." And I hadn't really thought about that, but I did at that time, and I tried to spend a lot more time with Ann and my daughter after that, and things worked out. College coaching, high school coaching was very enjoyable. It was every Friday night. It was over. Saturday, you had your time off. You looked at film. You had Sunday off, and so forth. But when I went to work in college, it was a 7-day deal, and I didn't get to spend too much time with my family. But Ann survived and brought me through that, and I'm forever indebted to the class of '69 because I found my true love. Thank you.
It was Winston's turn, is that what it was?
I think so. Bruce gave them to me.
Okay. What we're going to do now, I think, are drawing for door prizes. And Jack, how do you want to do this? We got. All right. Who can we get to draw?
Miss Cranford, Bob.
Yeah, I've got Miss Chris. Is Miss Cranford still there? All right. Good. And who's got the prizes lined up? So we know what we're drawing for when. Courtesy of the Highway Department, that appears to be the city of Little Rock. 1670. Okay. The lucky number is 195.
Thank you, kind sir.
All right. Highway Department picture of the lake, which we put back
Hold
in
it up here.
circulation. 183.
You can get the author to sign it too. You can get the author to sign it too. He said.
Okay.
Right.
Hot Springs past and present, which you could probably also get autographed if you win. It just came out about a month ago from the University of Arkansas Press. I know the author. So, 170. 170?
Should know. Start to walk his way.
When did you come to do this book? Okay. So the lucky winner that gets to come to the book would be whoever has 239. 239? That's right. Okay, one last item, and it is yet another history of the Malvern book. And that. 164. Well, thank you. That was fun. And, all right, the third of 5 is 211. 211? Yeah, you go back and pick out what you want. The fourth and 5 is 231. And I think that is everything.
Today, the blossoms still cling to the vine. I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows may all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. Oh, I'll be a dandy and I'll be a rover. You'll know who I am by the song that I sing. I'll feast at your table, I'll sleep in your clover, I'll laugh and I'll cry and I'll sing goodbye. I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows may all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. I can't be contented with yesterday's glories. I can't live on promises, winter to spring. Today is my moment, and now is my story. I'll laugh and I'll cry and I'll sing. Everybody. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries.